it. Hey, what's up? How's your night going? What you up to? I'm just scrolling on Instagram right now.
Man.
Smoking. Chilling.
We have our own airport and also.
What about you, man? Shout out Zuri. What's up, William? No thank you. I don't need any mods. Can you prank call people? Like who? I mean, I guess I could. No thanks, I don't want any mods. Pass. I feel it. What's his name? Ramen. I feel that. What the hell? I don't know. I guess that's a good idea. I thought about I have a phone line I could give out, and I thought about doing like a voicemail reaction. So I would leave a phone number and people could leave voicemails, and then I would play them. That's one idea I got.
Chewy has your summer essentials covered, from hoof to halter.
Shopping is hard. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Get outfits you love without any of the hassle. First, tell us.
Okay, I'll have to figure out which what my phone number is again. No mod Ocean. What's up, Seattle Reaper? No, I'm not.
If you holding on, now I can take you down. While the niggas with the shit gon' play around. Grab that chopper, grab that K and run it round. If you acting really tough, I take you down. If you holding on, now I can take you down. If you talking shit, I'll lay you down. I'm with some whites and they K's are running round.
A lot of guys go bald, but luckily not yet.
Cause I'm cashing out. Pull up on they blocks, keep the bus. Shoot a nigga, then act like it's nothing. Old block and 300, we come. Them the hoods, and I've been next to you. Listen us, you ain't got sense of son. What?
Alright, what's happening? I don't know, there's people at the bar downstairs. I'm just chilling here. Streaming it. What about you, man? Just got a new cart. Nice, man. The haters shag us. Hope you're rich. Trains his head below the waist. Transracial. What up, Samayo? Shout out to the gay community. Up the goat finches of Guatemala. I guess he's black. Are you really black? Love you too, True. He's mad Trump took the EBT money away. What are you doing here, you foul-mouthed gourd? Just bullying it, Muhammad. Alright. I'm gonna type a number for people to leave a voicemail at. Yo, what's up, Spooky? What up, Anthony? So yeah, I left a number in the bio, whatever, the about me, the description. That's what it is. In the description, you can leave a voicemail. I think it would be interesting to hear.
My husband used to ejaculate prematurely until this. My hubby is ejaculating so fast.
Who's the beat by? Well, this is on the Trappin' in Paradise 91. The song is called Laid Back Part 2 by RE_V. Filthy commercials. They've been bombarding me with dick pill commercials. They're like, we know his age range. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. I'm in Portland. Greetings from Portland, Oregon. Eastern Turkey. Damn, bro. Yeah, no. I forget. What was the one? What was the browser that has no commercials? I forget. Because I'm still using Safari on this computer. Adblocker 5. You too, man. Have a good rest of the night. Peace out. It's 11:30. I'm gonna try not to stay up as late as I did last night. I tried streaming on Kick yesterday, and I don't know. I'm still like brand new there, so I didn't get much views. But someone said that I should try streaming on Kick because apparently there's good money there. Who knows? Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I might try streaming there again. I might have to edit my profile or something. Because streaming on Meet Me has been kind of dead lately, for the most part. What up, Little Leaf? Why are you gay, gay, gay? Why don't you be less gay, 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 gay? Why don't you be less FAG? Why are you gay? Do you think you'll pop off on YouTube again? That'd be fun. I don't know. It seems like to pop off, you really have to have like one of those event type things that people are just, everyone's searching for. So I would have to. I want to feel my beard. Why are you gay? I don't know, but my YouTube's slowly growing. Just not very fast, but growing on one platform might help me grow on other platforms. Yeah, swallow water. Hey, you ever watched Winston Marshall's podcast? Apparently Sam Harris was on there today. I gotta watch that. Hey, thanks for the gold coin, bro. Appreciate you. What's good, main?
Who says I'm gay?
Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Shepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Morning, too.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender and you're a gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you?
I am Pepe Julian Onzima.
And his claim is he's biologically fated to be a woman.
Kakalichi, what makes him?
I'm glad Pepe is back.
I'm glad she has got.
Can you shake hands before we pray?
But why are you gay?
Of course. How are you, Pepe? Salam.
Dragon Ball.
Come on, man. You go get 1 hour phone.
Pastor, no.
No. Pastor.
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.?
Dragon Ball.
Shepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning. Why are you gay?
I got Scottish heritage, but I'm in America.
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Shepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Too.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
You are gay. We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr.
Winston Marshall does good interviews. I watched him with that comedian James McCann earlier. I'm good, man. How's your Saturday going? Gay is okay. Gay is okay? Why? But why? Excuse me. Fucking cocks everywhere. Actually, I'm going by a Shaggus now. It's a mix of Shaggy and Jesus. Subway, bro. Your hair is the same length as mine? That's cool. I'm gonna grow mine longer. Thanks, Jill. What do you mean vegetable? You mean Zorro, like the masked Mexican guy? I like Zorro. Yeah, what'd you say, Ethan? Just water. Well, I was just saying, yeah, to Ethan. Yeah. Of course, who doesn't? Like the white Bill Cosby. Call me the white Diddy in my neighborhood. Ain't no fucking way. Mayonnaise, I guess. You want to know what the beat was? The last beat? That one was Let's Do It Again, OGT. Thank you, Morgan. You ever watch Charlie Penguin's Most Critical? Hey, why does he have 3 different names? I always wondered that. But I probably watched him like when he was early streaming. I never watched him much though. But yeah, I was wondering why he had 3 different names. Or it was just 3 different handles or something. Lemon drop butterscotch. Yeah, I like butterscotch. How old are you? 35? Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone cares. I think people are over the N-word thing. Why your bedroom look fun, bro? To raw. I don't know. It's like a magical wonderland in here. Well, real niggas can say that, bro. Real niggas not worried about it. Infinite pass. Well, it's not about having a pass. It's about giving yourself the pass. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess certain celebrities probably wouldn't say it. I don't know. But culture is not going to change itself. If you want, you know. A lot of people don't care about the N-word. Effervescent essence of heaven. Ginger drops and fistfuls of pop rocks laced with effervescent essence of heaven. That's beautiful, man. I love it. What? I don't even know if I'm following him right now. Let me see if I am. I think I have him followed on YouTube, but not on like my other socials. You did? You got a new kitten or a moist critical? Sorry. Oh, you did, okay. Earth Destroyer? Nice. It's a solid name. What color is your cat? New kitten? Alright, this music's kind of boring. I'm gonna watch a video. Gray and white. Nice. I hope he turns out to be a good fluffy hair. Nice. I love long hair, fluffy cats. They're the best. Nice, bro. Sounds like you picked a good one.
Introducing the new Mobil 1 Advanced Clean Motor Oil. Mobil 1 Advanced Clean Motor Oil helps.
I forgot to check my Google Voice thing. Let me see if anyone left a message.
Long check. Mobil 1 Advanced Clean Motor Oil prevents up to 100% of harmful sludge formation. Mobil 1 Advanced Clean Motor Oil also protects my engine for 20,000 miles guaranteed and cleans my engine.
That's what's up. It's almost getting to the fun months. It's got to be older than that. Or I mean, I guess 6 months is when it's the most fun.
Absolutely on the rise.
Celebrating Hassan Piker as though he were the new face of progressive politics. This is obviously morally deranged. The left has been successfully manipulated by Islamists and apologists for Islamists, and people on the left are morally confused.
Do you think Mamdani is an Islamist?
Jihadism and Islamism have to lose. There can be no accommodation with it. Islamophobia is pure bull.
As long as that scripture exists, you're always going to have some people who take it literally.
That's why I said Islam needs a reformation.
That would be a disaster.
A renaissance and several civil wars.
But what's happened more recently is that there's a side of the right that seems to be taking the same position.
A lot of the anti-Muslim rhetoric that's put out there originates with people who are very, very pro-Israel, who kind of need us to demonize them.
Most people think that if Israel just went away, all of this conflict would disappear. What you see is Muslims have to be in the business of killing jihadists.
Do you think Islam is compatible with the West? You have been a fierce critic of Trump. You lay out that his bias are actually not just in favor of the West, but his bias is against the Islamist world. Given that you had previously supported or endorsed Kamala at the last president.
Well, that sucks that they passed away, but getting a new one is always a good thing, so glad you did.
Can you say the same about her?
The short answer is
Sam, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me.
Yeah, great to see you.
I have been listening to you for years, and I think you were actually my gateway to the intellectual space. So to be sat here is really special for me. So I'm very grateful. I know how busy you are as well, so to make the time is particularly special. I wanted to start this, as we were discussing before we were speaking, there's a lot of craziness to get into. This morning I woke up to the news that the suspect for the Palisades fire, which killed 12 and destroyed something like 7,000 homes here in California. His name is Jonathan Rinderknecht. He is said to have been a big fan of Luigi Mangione and wants to sort of restoration of justice, saw that as part of his project. And what I see observing America from the outside, and I know you'd be keen to talk about the lunacy on the right, which no doubt we'll get to, but I see a lunacy on the left that's pretty concerning. Whilst we've been here on this trip, it's been an assassination attempt on the president, seemingly the vice president as well, although it's a little unclear exactly what happened there. And political violence is absolutely on the rise, and it seems to be, at the moment, maybe not historically, at the moment, an issue on the left. Not exclusively, I can name versions of it on the right for sure, but it seems to be an issue here that's going on. You have called out lunacy from the left, despite having voted for or supported Kamala at the last election. And I wanted to get your impression of where this comes from. And I partly asked because it's previously said with regards to some things, the rhetoric of Trump has played a part in the sort of heightened discourse. And for me, that's not quite enough. I can't accept that it's, let's say, even if Trump's rhetoric played some part, this has got to be, is it deeper and more profound issue that's going on? Is it deeper and more profound?
Yeah, it's much bigger than Trump and certainly precedes Trump. Well, on the left, you have this ideology around power relations, and that all power on some level is
thanks, Brad. Appreciate
is
you.
corrupt and in the limit evil. And on the left, it's there's just direct ties historically to Marxism and socialism and other
retardation
ethics of redistribution and revolution, frankly.
Retardation. Some level of retardation.
That are more radical, and if the left, unlike the right, has captured mainstream institutions to a remarkable degree. So you have in recent months the New York Times not only platforming but really celebrating Hassan Piker as though he were the new face of progressive politics in America, and they gave him a
what do you give me?
A glowing profile in the style section. They gave him his own op-ed. Ezra Klein embraced him as, quote, not the enemy. He was on another podcast and anchored by a New York Times writer with a New Yorker writer, and he and the New Yorker writer were agreeing that looting was now micro looting was now
I need more locks, since you're asking.
An ethical strategy.
And I need a laser beam so that if anyone comes in my fucking house when I'm not here, it fucking zaps them right back into the hallway.
Strategy of protest. It's just steal from corporations that you think are too rich or that you don't like.
Well, I'll just say, real niggas always win.
This is obviously morally deranged.
Shabbat shalom.
And you would not get the analogous right-coded derangement celebrated by any kind of mainstream news.
Claymores? Yeah, I want some kind of a booby trap, though. I don't give a fuck. If they come into my place, they're getting hit with some nails or something.
Outlet, right? So the fact that Hassan Piker is not recognized to be as odious as someone like Nick Fuentes. I mean, they're fairly interchangeable. I mean, but maybe Fuentes has got a little more topspin that makes him a little worse. But I mean, they're both morally nuts, right? And they absolutely, contrary to what the original title of Ezra Klein's op-ed said, Hassan Piker absolutely is the enemy of any sane American politics, and certainly any viable future for the Democrats in America. So, I mean, the fact that he's being sane-washed by nothing less than the New York Times is a sign of how fully the rot has spread. And that's much more than, I mean, Trump doesn't help, but it's a much deeper problem than Trump.
It's deeper, but it's not apparently wealth inequality that's driving. I mean, Hassan Piker comes from a wealthy background. He's wearing Rolexes.
No, but he's messaging to people who are worried about wealth inequality. I mean, he's a hypocrite, right? I mean, he's just a hypocrite, and he's an imposter, right? He's a poser, but he's not.
Hassan's a donut. Yeah, I don't like Hassan.
and he's just morally unserious in every way, right? So he's not a serious person.
He's taken seriously, though, as you
He's a
say.
provocateur, but the fact that he's taken seriously is a sign of just serious confusion in mainstream places.
But it's not clear to me that he might be appealing to people who think wealth inequality is a problem, but it doesn't mean that those people are the poor.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And you see this also with people who voted for Mamdani in New York. It wasn't actually the poorest.
You mean Oregon? I'm in Oregon, yeah.
That seemed to vote for Mamdani. So it's another phenomenon, I think. It's not, you might say it's wealth inequality, and it might indeed be people who say wealth inequality is the problem, but it's not necessarily the poor.
No, it's not necessarily the poor, and I don't think we should downplay how anxious even middle class and upper middle class, even in global terms, wealthy people can be around inequality. Right? So if you're living in Manhattan and making $200,000 a year, you're rich by any rational standard globally. You're not rich in Manhattan. In fact, it can be hard to live in Manhattan. You certainly have the lifestyle you want in Manhattan at that level of wealth. So it's like, it's because that so much of our sense of our own status and well-being is comparative.
What's up? Hello from Oregon.
That you get these, this.
You got a victim? Oh, man. Be careful out there.
These perverse effects where even if all boats are rising with the same tide and things are getting better for everyone in every, at every strata economically, people don't necessarily feel that things have got
another one got away
very uniformly across the economy for everybody in recent years. But
good morning.
But if you look at what everyone has now compared to what they had 50
Yep, I'll be on Roblox later. I'll hit you up.
years ago, even the poorest people have a supercomputer in their pockets. I mean, things are many things have changed for the better for
Pepsi's delicious.
For more or less everybody, and yet it's easy to not feel that way if you're
I'm watching this Sam Harris interview.
Always just simply comparing yourself to somebody who's obviously doing better than you are.
Well, make sure to take care of your teeth if you're drinking Pepsi.
Yeah, that's human nature to a large degree. But how much do you think ideology is at play?
Well, there's a lot of confusion. I mean, I think Marxism and the kind of the historical historically adjacent notions to Marxism have filtered in, but there are a lot of people who are spouting Marxist homilies who aren't not aware of having been influenced by Marx or anyone else.
They're marinating.
Yeah, it's just the sense of what is ethically right or ethically unseemly gets filtered through culture and begins to affect people's politics. And a lot of that has shifted. I mean, certainly a lot has shifted in right of center. I mean, on the right, there used to be notions of that character mattered, and I mean, just think of just how much pain Clinton got from the right.
That's why I mostly only drink water.
Right, for his indiscretions.
Father's papers.
I mean, that has completely evaporated, right? Right of center. So the culture shifts in ways that are surprising. But on the left, I think we're not talking about wealth inequality as much as I think it is influencing everything. I think it's an enormous thing, and I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I downloaded Roblox, but I didn't sign in yet. I think I don't want to do my ID. I don't want to show my ID on there. That's crazy. They make you show your ID now. I found that his father died in 1960. Oh, wow. Face age estimation. Whoa. They just guesstimate your age? That's wild.
Sharpened up by advances in AI. I think AI is going to make it the unavoidable topic.
Yeah. Before we move to the right and AI, listen back to your conversation with Ben.
Oh my God, they dogged you, bro. Fuck. That's going to be brutal on me.
And Shapiro, and I think one of your arguments for supporting Cameron at the last election was that she had distanced herself from the more extreme side of wokeism or the left and progressivism. But it's not entirely clear to me that that's what's going on at the moment. If you see, for example, Obama 2 weeks ago did a photo shoot with Mamdani. Mamdani to me seems pretty radically left. Obama very happy to be side by side with him, and likewise the likes of Ilhan Omar and the squad. These are not people who are pushed aside by mainstream Democrats, or as far as I've interpreted it. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you?
No. And so the real error there is that
big stoner.
The left has been successfully manipulated by Islamists and apologists for Islamists, and I mean, in certain cases this is a knowing alliance, and in certain cases just frank manipulation, and people on the left are morally confused. I'm not, I don't think someone like Hassan Piker is confused. I think he knows exactly what sort of...
Did you dirty man? I thought it was an original Kuwaiti. Jeez. Well, I hope you're able to get that figured out, lady.
Alliance he has, and I think that's true of Mamdani too.
Do you think Mamdani's an Islamist?
Yeah, I mean, well, he's certainly an apologist for Islamists, right? He's just not, the fact that he's he can't quite figure out what's wrong with the phrase globalize the intifada, and that the worst he'll say of it is that he doesn't use that language, nor does he encourage it, but he's not going to condemn it, and that he's just so fixated on the Middle East, right? He's mayor of New York, and his main fixation is Israel and Palestine and Gaza, etc. One of the first things he did was change the definition of anti-Semitism. Eric Adams had
you should
kind of ran that through as some kind of executive order at the mayoral level, and Mamdani changed it. Now I don't necessarily agree with the definition of
that might be a cool spot to go to.
Anti-Semitism that is being promulgated by Deborah Lipstadt and other people who are I forgot the name of it, but it's a very expansive conception of what it means to be anti-Semitic.
Which shuts down conversation.
Yeah, and it seems to shut down, at least in my eyes, some conversation about what Israel is doing as a nation, and criticizing Israeli politics, and etc. So I agree that there's something to debate there, and just how we should bound, the Overton window on that topic. But the fact that Mamdani is just, he's a proud, DSA member, Democratic Socialists of America. They were out on October 8th supporting Hamas, right? I mean, there's just no way that should be possible.
Yeah.
And there's no way that anyone who's got that level of callousness and confusion being charitable, should be running a major American city, right? Much less being the darling, the poster boy for the future Democratic politics. So yes, he knows exactly how fully the Muslim Brotherhood, through the Council of American Islamic Relations, CARE in America, has gamed our politics. I mean, there's something very sinister about the way Islamists have spread their ideas.
If you think I look like Macho Man, you might be the first one to say that.
Ideology through the West, and targeted liberals, right? I mean, people whose primary, in the center of ethical gravity for them is to never be.
I usually get Shaggy and Jesus, so I'm Shaggus.
Quote, racist, right? As though race tracked any kind of criticism of Islam, which of course it doesn't. But that's the notion. It's like, okay, to criticize Islam is to be racist. That's the first piece of confusion. And Islamophobia as a meme is used to silence any criticism of the doctrine of Islam as indistinguishable from just bigotry against Muslims as people, right? And so it's that piece of confusion that's being leveraged. And Mamdani is someone who knows enough about this, right? I mean, both his parents are...
Yeah, UK is just like a gloomy island. It's pretty wild there.
There's up to their
seems interesting though.
Eyeballs in this kind of discourse. So he grew up with this. He knows that he's, not saying the quiet part out loud or struggling not to say it out loud, and he knows just how calculated all of this is.
I don't know anything about that, but I don't think so.
To confuse people about really what is in fact spreading theocracy.
Yeah. So what's strange in the change in America specifically on this issue is that this has always been a problem, a blind spot for liberals, right? But what's happened more recently is that there's a side of the right that seems to be taking the same position.
Yeah.
I found an old,
Where were you on December
and we'll show it,
23rd,
an old
2023?
appearance of yours on the Tucker Carlson show. It must have been about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably in the wake of
I
9/11.
think it could have been my first television interview.
The irony for me has always been that, if the jihadists ever took power in this country, the first people who would be rounded up and executed, probably slowly, would be liberals, would be seculars, would be gays, would be the very same people who are always making excuses for radical Islam. It seems like almost like masochism to me, or self-hatred.
You won't hear Tucker saying that now. In fact, now it's a defense of.
Well, now he's castigating Trump as the Antichrist for criticizing Islam, right? Or disrespecting, the Muslim God, right? Like he's so.
Make a deal?
Yeah, he's preening in a way in defense of.
I don't know. I'm not sure if we can make a deal. Marry you. I don't know how that works.
I guess his master ethic is defend monotheism of whatever flavor at any cost, and he's,
I think you would have to be here already in the United States.
He's. I mean, Tucker. We can talk about Tucker. Tucker is a deeply weird person, and he's showing that weirdness. It's coming out of his pores now, and it's very hard to predict.
I would think about it, I guess.
What his politics will be from one week to the next, but he's tracking something. And yes, right of center, the America First wing of the MAGA cult has broken with the president on this issue. I mean, the president, at least nominally, or at least functionally most of the time, is still staking his claim, defending the West against Islamism and jihadism. Right? Like he doesn't talk about that very much. He doesn't. I don't know that he has more than 2 sentences in his head to describe that project, but his bias seems to be, if anything, it's a caricature of what the left fears, right? We don't want any more of these people coming from shithole countries, right? Now that's not the way to say it. That's not even the way to think it. That doesn't track the real problem, but at least that is functionally tracking the issue of we should want to know who's coming into our country, and we don't want any more jihadis.
Right. Which you agree with?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's a bias of the president.
Yeah, but you have a lot of America First people who seem to be. I think anti-Semitism is largely at work here, but their epiphany now seems to be, it's the Jews that got us into this problem with Islam in the first place.
All right. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Hope you feel better too.
Weren't for these scheming Jews, there wouldn't be any. There might not even have been a World War II, right? I mean, like the Jews convinced Winston Churchill to get us into World War II, according to Daryl Cooper on Tucker's podcast and on Rogan's podcast. So it's like this is maybe it's all about the Jews. Maybe we wouldn't have a problem with these sincere religious believers who happen to be Muslim, but for the Jews. And so let's just withdraw from any kind of entanglement in the Middle East. Let Israel sink or swim on its own. Let's put our hemisphere in order, and let's forget that 9/11 even happened, and that the Charlie Hebdo massacre happened, or the Bataclan massacre happened, or any other thing that had nothing to do with Israel or the Jews. And let's convince ourselves that we don't have any kind of civilizational conflict with traditional Islam.
Yeah. So, seeing as you have been a fierce critic of Trump, and here you lay out that his bias are actually not just in favor of the West, but his bias is against the Islamist world.
Yeah.
And obviously it's the case he's one of the most pro-Jewish presidents in history. It's just, his foreign policy has been very compatible, and I don't think Israel control American politics, but it's very pro-Israel and pro-Jewish, and not least he has Jewish grandchildren. And with that, and presumably that aligns with your worldview. I mean, actually, I shouldn't presume, but
well, yeah, there's some caveat to issue there, but
well, we'll come to the caveats. But given that you had previously supported or endorsed Kamala at the last presidential, can you say the same about her? Was the Democrat Party and Kamala Harris, are their biases in the same way? Are they pro-Western? Are they pro-Israel? I mean, Kamala said some things like all eyes on Rafah, and there was definitely rhetoric from their side that suggested their biases are not in the same direction.
Yeah, well, the short answer is I think the Democratic Party is certainly capable of promoting someone who would just be a deal breaker on all those issues, who's just a closeted Islamist on some level, or just a masochist, or someone with Stockholm syndrome who just doesn't know what they're talking about on these issues and would sell out everything in order to just, quote, not be racist or not be Islamophobic. So yes, the Democratic Party is, I'm still worried that they have not gotten the firmware upgrade they should have gotten on the basis of the loss in 2024, and they don't realize all the things they should realize in order to win in 2028. So a character like Mamdani is that, or people like that. I don't think Kamala was as much of a liability on that front as many people feared. I don't have any deep reason to know this. I mean, her husband's Jewish, so that's one data point. But I just never heard her be as floridly confused about the defense of Western values and open societies as some other Democrats. So, and I don't think Hillary Clinton would have been confused.
You didn't hear Kamala be confused?
No. Yeah.
I don't remember hearing her say anything coherent. I was confused by everything.
Yeah, I think she basically just avoided the topic, and also she was not a good candidate. I mean, there are many reasons not to like her, and then also, I mean, to give a sop to the people who supported Trump in that election because of this single issue. I mean, there are people who were single issue voters, right of center Jews who are concerned, about the fate of Israel and the fate of Jews globally. Who thought, well, Trump is just going to, in a very straightforward way, be better than Kamala on that issue, and that's my only issue. That probably was a safe bet. I think there are reasons to believe that Trump supported Israel more than certainly Biden would have, and Kamala would have after him. We wouldn't have bombed Iran with Israel.
But you support the Iran war in principle?
I do. I don't support the way Trump got us into it. So I think that the war could well be a disaster and actually be worse than not having done anything. And that just remains to be seen what happens, right? So, but Trump, his messaging about it has been terrible. He's done nothing to prepare the American people or Congress for it. For any sacrifice, from higher gas prices on down.
What should he have done with Congress?
He's alienated all of our allies. We have no allies other than Israel. If you recall, President Obama was rightly castigated for having drawn a red line in Syria, and then when Assad crossed it, he did nothing. Trump has drawn a dozen red lines and blinked and blinked and blinked again, and we're just in a world where now words don't appear to matter. But he has done a tremendous amount of harm to the stature, both political and moral of the United States on the world stage, and it just remains to be seen whether the end of this war is going to seem like an improvement over the status quo or not. I think that we just don't know.
But you think he's done that in the way he's conducted the war, not the war itself?
Right. Yeah, and I think he's. I mean, the problem with him is that he's not. I don't think he actually knows much of anything or believes much of anything. He's just a pathologically selfish person, right? So he's yes, he has been, as you said, very supportive of Israel and the Jews, but I don't think that runs very deep. It certainly doesn't run deeper than his own self-interest. So if he can cut some deal where he sells our most advanced AI chips to the UAE in defiance of our, obvious security concerns, because the UAE is going to share those with China to do joint military exercises. And he does this because he's raking in, $2 billion into his, his cryptocurrency scheme. He will do that, and I think if the mullahs in Tehran had offered him a $2 billion golf course deal, we might not have bombed Iran. Right? I think he's that transactional, and he's that, and so he's not.
What's up, Tony?
I think his support of Israel is much less secure than many Jews hope, based on that. I just think he's just not a totally rational actor. He's a narcissist. Right. I mean, I think you could.
It's hard to argue against the fact that he's a narcissist, but I think that believe it or not, there are some consistencies. Mm-hmm. He's been talking about Iran for decades, and he's been calling it the enemy of America for decades. When Obama and Lincoln they were trying to do these deals, and Biden, which only gave more money to Iran, who carried on with their nuclear arsenal. Trump was saying all along, what are you doing? You're nuts. And likewise, he's been consistent with China. He's been calling out China as the threatening counter-hegemon to America for decades. So if you take the sort of day-to-day tweets of Trump, it's hard to make sense of it. But if you step back and look at what he has been doing, it's shocking.
Yeah, I don't think he gets the larger piece.
I feel that, man. Yeah, I feel that. I agree.
It's around jihadism and Islamism. I think I don't see any evidence of that. I think he hates Iran he had a formative experience, as many people of his age did, in 1979 during the hostage crisis, and the obvious ineptitude and just powerlessness of the Carter administration in the face of that, and just the humiliation of our country by this group of religious maniacs, right? So he saw all that, and that was formed some kind of indelible impression. I get it.
Yeah. It's not looking good for Iran.
I have the same impression, but does he know about 12-er Shiism? Does he know about what the kind of the top spin Khomeini gave to Shiism and to give us the current product of Iran?
Look, he might not know that. I suspect he does know that they are Islamists who want to kill and destroy America. They tried to kill him twice. So
yeah,
I don't think he's dumb enough that.
I just think if he meets a telegenic Islamist, actually he met a telegenic jihadist in Syria and was suddenly a big fan, right? So, I mean, he's not. I don't think he's.
Business evolves fast. Our students are ready. Learn more at wgu.edu.
The 3 for me, only at Chili's, just got crispier with the big crispy chicken sandwich that's way bigger than McDonald's McCrispy.
Way bigger. It's way bigger. $960 times 12.
11,520.
Most of his brain is
a pragmatist.
Is some television / social media algorithm, right? Like he's pushed around by concerns that are not deep. They're certainly not principled, and I wouldn't say they're deeply rational either, right? So he's not like it's by accident that he hasn't been glad-handed sufficiently by some odious Islamist regime. The truth is, I don't even know how he's behaved in the Gulf on all these points. I mean, it is true that MBS now is doing some helpful things to de-radicalize the clerics in Saudi Arabia. So despite the fact that he, butchers journalists and does other psychopathic things, he's more of a mixed figure if your issue is somehow stemming the tide of Islamism and jihadism. But the way Trump has grifted the Gulf, I don't know that he's tracking whether he's empowering and partnering with funders of terrorism or not. Right? I mean, Qatar is Qatar has been a bad actor up until yesterday.
Agreed. On
terrorism, right? And the Saudis before that. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that's happening there that is auspicious, and I think we'll take the help wherever we can get it. But there's the layer of kind of the royal families, and then there's a layer of the so-called Arab street where minds have not necessarily been changed, and I don't know that Trump is tracking any of that.
But with regard to that, so the good faith argument to defend his behavior would be he's playing realpolitik, and if you were to take a position on foreign policy which was highly principled and sort of be almost puritanical about we will not operate and work with anyone who hasn't got a perfect, beautiful, pristine record, then America would not be able to work with any other nation. Right. So it's understandable.
I'm not being that finicky. Yeah, I just think he's not. There's no world in which it's a good thing for him to have been expressed more or less nothing but fondness for Putin up until the hour where Putin just kind of humiliates him again and again by not doing anything he says and continuing to butcher people in Ukraine, right? I mean, the fact that we have a president who's walking around saying that Ukraine started the war, right? I mean, Putin, not even Putin says that, right? I mean, it's completely insane, right? It's just not, I mean, we put a game show host in charge of the world's lone superpower. We did that. America did that, right? And the world is now dealing with the consequences of that. It's not that everything he's done is bad, but he's just not a serious person, right? It's just we're going to wake up at some point, and everyone will realize that we did something
12:30 a.m.
that should have been impossible.
But so now we're going back to our own sort of reality of politics. Or I don't have a vote in America, so it's not relevant to me. But if the option is between Kamala Harris and Trump, and the biases of Trump are pro-Western, pro-America, anti-Islamist, pro-Western civilization, which includes Israel.
But it's not pro-America in any rational. I mean, there's no pro-America.
If you're pro-Western, you're pro-America.
Yeah, no, but he's destroyed our soft power. I mean, we used to have a tremendous amount of influence based on a global perception, certainly among the Western democracies, and the free open societies globally. There was a perception of shared values and competence and stability and moral probity, right? It's not that we were perfect, but all of our failures were judged against ideals that we actually held, right? And articulated well for others and inspired, in fledgling democracies. All that's gone. I mean, we're now a country that doesn't judge any other nation for anything. I mean, you can throw your journalists in jail, you can kill your journalists, you can attack your neighbors, there's no judgment here. There can be no judgment here. We have a deeply amoral, at best, executive branch that is treating everything, all of American power, all of the levers of American power as as an extortion racket. I mean, basically, what he's done is he's weaponized American trade policy and foreign policy for his personal advantage, right? I mean, like, so he puts a 46% tariff on Vietnam. How does Vietnam get that tariff relieved? They greenlight a $1.5 billion resort deal for the Trump family. Right? That alone, I mean, he's done hundreds of things like that. That one thing is the worst thing that has happened in our lifetime for the erosion of and the moral standing of this country on the global stage. It's like it's extortion. It's insane, and yet he's treating American power as though it's his personal property to be traded away for his own advantage, the advantage of his family and friends, and he's made billions of dollars in the last 12 months. So the fact that that's even possible, much less goes unremarked right of center, as though there's no downside to it. There's an enormous downside.
Yeah, I think you're right to call that out, and I don't think World Liberty Financial is defensible in the slightest. I don't understand why he would do the cryptocurrency he did. There's no...
Well, you understand why he did it. He
right,
did it because it's a toll booth. I mean, it's a way to pay bribes directly to him, and apparently it's legal.
Bribes or not, I mean, I haven't seen evidence of actual bribes, but certainly it's in a way for him to enrich the family, which I would accept, and I just don't see why they need to do it.
There's all kinds of, whether you want to call it a bribe or not, I mean, they're transactions that are more than correlations. They're clearly causal. Right, someone gives him millions of dollars through this mechanism, and then gets let out of jail, right? Or I cited the UAE transaction with the NVIDIA chips that we weren't going to give them, but then I think it was $2 billion went into World Liberty Financial, and the rake on that was a minimum of I think $80 million a year for the Trump family. Then we greenlighted the sale of the chips, right? So the fact that this is not that doesn't actually land you in prison if you do this as a president. I don't understand why we don't have those laws, but apparently we don't. So he's getting away with something that no one would have attempted because it was so unseemly. But the amazing transformation culturally, right of center, is that it's not even unseemly. I mean, it's like people used to care that. I mean, honestly, Hillary Clinton's political prospects were almost destroyed when it was revealed that her speaking fee was $250,000. Right? She would, I mean, this is completely legal. I mean, what do you expect her speaking fee to be? I mean, she was Secretary of State, right? Goldman Sachs wants her to come in and speak at their gala. What should they pay her, right? That was almost fatal to her because again, this comes back to wealth inequality and the ethics of all that. Left of center, that was seen, but the people right of center trumpeted it because they saw it as an Achilles heel. That was seen as just this odious grift, right? Like just you leave government and then you just start raking it. And the Obama's deal with Netflix was seen as just beyond the pale. It's not even a difference of scale. You simply cannot compare that. If those are indiscretions at all, which I don't actually think they are, you can't compare that to what Trump is getting away with without comment.
I think that is absolutely fair criticism. I think it's also possible that two things can be true at the same time. That is a type of cronyism that is unacceptable and corrosive to the future of America, but also that the alternative option, i.e. Kamala, I'm sorry to bring it back to that, someone who would have probably made things worse with Iran, which means that Iran would very likely have, well, I'm playing a counter history here, but could have, on that trajectory, they would have got nuclear arms. They would be an Islamic state.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, we don't know how this is going to shake down, and we could wind up with a situation that's actually worse than
all wars could be worse, though.
I mean, because clearly the lesson Iran has learned from this, one would expect, is that they should sprint for a bomb, right? To negotiate away their nuclear capability as they seem to be doing.
But they were jogging for a bomb already.
Yeah, but I mean, there was oversight, and it was unclear, and still unclear, I think, just how vulnerable that JCPOA deal was.
What you want, partner?
Just kidding, we've got a bomb.
But you think that the JCPOA deal?
I mean, I don't think it was a great deal, insofar as I understand the details of it. But it's not clear that at any moment they were just going to reveal the fact that they were 2 weeks away from a bomb, or they had a bomb, or they were going to not honor the deal. I don't know how much enforcement was there and how much oversight was there. Presumably there was some.
I know. What are you up to tonight, man?
Could wind up, if Trump backs out of the current war because he can't deal with gas prices going up for months at a time, we could wind up with something worse. So again, I don't think I think this war in the abstract was the right thing, and it would have been the right thing at any point in the last 47 years. I mean, I just think the free world had to recognize that Iran was being run by a death cult and was spreading this death cult behavior through its proxies to the whole region, and it really was the kind of the center of the octopus that had to be dealt with. But to do it without
not a bad size on that bad boy.
It makes it look like the scheming Jews.
That's not Trump's fault.
Well, no, but it was all too foreseeable. I mean, it looks like Israel got us into the war, and the way that it was messaged. I mean, someone from the administration. I mean, the problem is he's surrounded by freaks and frauds for the most part. I mean, people who have. I mean, in his first administration, that wasn't true. In the second administration, his loyalty tests created a sieve through which no honest person with a real reputation to protect could pass, with a couple of exceptions.
Almost doesn't even look real.
I guess, but I mean, the fact that this guy was able to go from being someone who recognized that Trump was a con man and a crackpot and was destroying the Conservative Party, and was able to eat that much shit all the way to being now his defender, of his foreign policy. I mean, that's it's quite a tale of moral capitulation. But for the most part, we have a clown car running the show, and so no one can message if someone could get in front of a microphone and say, listen, here's why we're sticking this war out. Here's why it's not a story of Israel dragging us into it. It's a story of shared values and shared interests, right? Israel is the tip of the spear for Western civilization against a death cult, and this death cult has spread into contexts that have nothing to do with Jews, have nothing to do with anti-Semitism. When a jihadist blows himself up at an Ariana Grande concert in the UK, right? Okay, that's a problem that's not going away unless we figure out how to get the Muslim world to have a reformation, a renaissance, and an enlightenment, and perhaps several civil wars. And we have a jihadist problem, right? And Iran is one of the central nodes of this problem. We share this concern with Israel. They didn't drag us into anything. We saw an opportunity to decapitate the regime, and that's what we're going to do. And anyone who's worried about gas prices doesn't see how deep this problem runs, right? If someone could say any of that because they understood the problem, we'd be in a different world. No one can say that, and J.D. Vance doesn't even think it, right?
I think Rubio has said it, but he certainly said it. I didn't say it before the war.
Yeah, but he's got a lunatic over his shoulder in the form of the president who will talk about he'll talk out of 10 different sides of his mouth and not make any sense. We won the war. The war's going to go on for a long time. No, the war's behind it. It's just nobody knows what's happening. He contradicts himself every time he speaks.
In Houston, the world doesn't just show up. It takes the spotlight. Street by street, pitch by pitch, soccer lives here. From taco trucks to global flavors, from murals to music, this city moves to an international beat. Here, soccer isn't just a game, it's a global celebration. So bring the energy, bring the passion. Because in 2026, the world plays in Houston. Come ready to play. Come ready to celebrate.
Royal Canin has precise nutrition for your breed's unique needs. Get it at PetSmart. PetSmart. Anything for pets.
Room for 6 full-size passions. A car that doesn't elevate everyone's experience is a car that stops short of amazing.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk.
Can't sleep.
We have no stores. That means...
Yo, Bryce. I'm applying for the... Portland has a... it's called the Electric Bike